All right. Hello, AP Computer Science. We are looking at centered average from Array2. In this problem, we're supposed to find the average of all the numbers in an int array, and we're supposed to ignore the largest and smallest values. So it's like three questions wrapped into one. We have, find the largest value, find the smallest value, find the average, and plus do a little bit of math to correct for those different things. So, for example, in this question, or this example here, we ignore the 100 and we ignore the 1. We just take the average, oh dear, pardon me, of those numbers there, which is going to be 3. So my game plan is just to add up all the numbers by, looping through the array, going from beginning to end, adding the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 100, adding those all up in a loop. But also, while we're doing that, I'm going to take a look and see if we've if we can find that smallest and largest value, and then just subtract them off at the end, and then take the average of the resulting sum. So let's take a look at how I did that, starting off with just some initialized variables. I think this is the hardest part here and here, but let's just talk about, first of all, we need a sum variable because we're adding up all the things in the array, so that's going to store our sum. And then min, that's our smallest value we found so far, and max will be our biggest value we found so far. So we're going to start at 0, and we're just going to say that's the biggest and smallest number we found so far, which kind of makes sense, right? I mean, if you're looking at it, you're like, yep, that's the biggest one we found so far. It's also the smallest one we found so far. Just looking at it, there it is. That's, we haven't found any other numbers, so it's just by default the biggest and smallest. Also, that helps ground us in the data set. Like if I just said, for example, the minimum number is 0, well, that might work for some of them, but it wouldn't work for this one or this one because, all these numbers are bigger than 0, so it's not really, can't really say that the start and the minimum at 0, right? You could say I'll start it at 100, but, so that will get beat by all of these, but what if there's one that has like 1,000 in it? So it's hard to know what to pick. So what I recommend is just, say that the first number is the biggest number and the smallest number, and it will be guaranteed to be beat, or it's already the right answer. So we're just kind of grounding your initialized values in the existing data. So then after you've done that, we just go in and have a loop that just drives us from the beginning, element 0, to the end, which is length minus 1. And I'm just going to do the calculation to see each value. Hey, is this smaller than the smallest one we found so far? And this calculation here determines, hey, is this bigger than the biggest one we found so far? So the way this works is with math.min, it returns the smaller number of the two parameters. So min is the smallest one we found so far, and num sub I is the current number. So we're saying, hey, return the smaller of these two, and then we'll set the smallest number to, the smaller of these two. So if this one wins, then min becomes that number. And if this one wins, then it doesn't really change. Same logic with math.max, except that it returns a larger number. So it's kind of same idea, but bigger rather than smaller. Here I am just adding up all the numbers, right? This represents the number that's stored at index I. So I'll just add it to my sum as I go. Then I finish it off by doing my calculation. I'm just going to minus. Sorry. Oh, dear. I got to get more sleep. Minusing the smallest number we found so far and the biggest number we found so far, just off the sum. And then when we find our average, average is just the sum divided by the number of numbers in the sum. So don't forget to subtract off 2 because we just got rid of 2 of our numbers. So we got to make our number of numbers also decrease by 2. Okay, I hope that made sense, and I wish you a great day. There's a few more videos on Array2 stuff to check out. All right, thanks so much, AP. Bye-bye.